You're not getting weaker because you're getting older. You're getting weaker because your body has been silent for too long while you haven't yet learned how to listen. In just 2 weeks without essential vitamins, your legs can lose up to 10% of their strength. And sometimes that strength never fully returns. Many things we think are just part of aging are actually your body's quiet cries for help that we've ignored for too long. I want you to take a few seconds to reflect on something. This morning when you got out of bed, did you feel a little unsteady? Did you need to grab the edge of the bed, the wall, or a nearby chair just to get your balance? If so, you're not alone. Over the past 60 plus years working with older adults in communities across America, I've witnessed a pattern that repeats itself even in people who were once very strong. Leg weakness doesn't happen overnight. It's a silent slope, and it often starts with small deficiencies deep inside the body. There's a medical study I was referred to when someone asked me about rebuilding strength after 60. It shows that in just 2 weeks of vitamin deficiency, leg muscles can lose up to 10% of their strength. That may sound small, but it changes everything about the way we move. A step that used to feel firm becomes slower. Standing up from a chair takes a few seconds longer. And eventually you find yourself hesitating at the top of the stair because you're no longer confident your legs will carry you down safely. I still remember Evelyn, a 78-year-old woman I met a few years ago. At our first appointment, she couldn't walk without holding tightly onto her son's arm. Her legs trembled with every tiny step. And though she didn't say much, her eyes told the story, tired, worn down, and most of all, quietly ashamed. Shame that her body had come to this. She looked down as if blaming herself for growing weak, for letting herself slip away from the strength she once had. And then softly she asked me, "I eat regularly. I try to stay active. So why does my body feel like it's fading?" It's a question I've heard countless times. And the answer often doesn't lie in doing more, but in doing the right things consistently. We didn't start with big changes, just small, deliberate steps. We adjusted her breakfast, added 1 boiled egg, a little yogurt. We included the right vitamins taken properly and consistently. And every morning she spent 10 quiet minutes in the sunlight before starting her day. Weeks passed. Then came our next appointment. This time, Evelyn walked into the room on her own. No cane, no help from her son. I watched her steps, steady, calm. But what struck me most was the look in her eyes. No longer tired or defeated, but curious, hopeful. It was as if she had just discovered something she didn't know was still possible, that her body hadn't given up on her. And maybe she didn't need to give up either. Health isn't something you either have or don't. It's something you can rebuild if you start from the inside, and you start now. If you believe that health isn't a matter of luck, but the result of small daily choices, leave a comment below that says, "I'm ready to change." I'll read every single one because I believe no one should have to walk the road to recovery alone. Next, I want to show you 6 early warning signs your body is quietly using to ask for help. Subtle signals that, if recognized in time, could reverse the slow decline of your legs. Have you ever noticed a strange numbness creeping into your feet, or felt like standing up takes just a little more effort than it used to? If you have, this next part is for you. We're going to explore the earliest messages your legs send you and how to listen before those messages turn into irreversible outcomes. Part 1. 6 silent signs your body is running low on essential vitamins. Some things don't scream. They don't hurt. They simply drain energy from you quietly every single day. Most people assume they are getting weaker because they're getting older. But the truth is, what you're feeling right now, the aching knees, tingling, feet, shaky balance, may all point to something deeper. A slow, hidden deficiency in vitamins and minerals your body depends on, but that no one ever told you about. I've met hundreds of people just like you. They're not lazy. They eat well. They still try to walk every day, yet their legs still grow weaker. Today, I want you to finally listen to the quiet signals your body has been sending so you can begin to heal before it turns into a cycle you can't escape. When ongoing fatigue and lack of motivation to move, some changes happen so slowly, so quietly. You don't even notice them at first. It's not a sharp pain. It's not a sudden fall. It's something subtler, like the feeling of not wanting to do anything anymore. I often ask the people I work with, do you remember the last time you actually wanted to go for a walk? Not because your doctor said you should, not because your kids kept reminding you, but because you wanted to. You wanted to breathe fresh air. You wanted to feel the breeze on your face. You wanted to hear the leaves rustling in the trees. I think of James, a man who used to begin every morning with a bike ride around the park near his home. But after turning 65, he started staying in. At first, it was the cold weather. Then it was a nagging ache in his knee on the uphill path. And eventually, there was no reason at all. He just didn't feel like going anymore. It's easy to blame that on aging. But sometimes the cause is far simpler of vitamin D deficiency. Most people think of vitamin D as something for bone health, but few realize it plays a vital role in energy, mood, and muscle resilience. When your body lacks it, everything slows down. You get tired faster. You lose interest more easily. Even a few steps feel exhausting. So you sit more, move less, until one day your legs can no longer lift you the way they used to. 2. Nighttime leg cramps that disrupt your sleep. Have you ever been jolted awake by a sudden cramp in your leg? The pain doesn't warn you. It doesn't creep in slowly. It hits like a lightning bolt. You shoot up in bed, grabbing your calf, drenched in sweat from the pain. And even the next morning, your leg still feels sore. The surprising part, it's not because you overexerted yourself. It's because your muscles are low in magnesium and vitamin D, two nutrients that allow your muscles to contract and relax properly without seizing up unexpectedly. I often tell my patients a nighttime cramp is your body crying out, I'm exhausted. 3, that crawling or burning sensation in your legs. Have you ever felt like ants were crawling beneath your skin even though nothing's there? Or a burning heat in your calves even when they feel cool to the touch? That's not your imagination. It's often a sign of peripheral nerve dysfunction, and one of the most common causes is a vitamin B12 deficiency. When your body runs low on B12, the protective layer around your nerves called the myelin sheath starts to thin. The signals from your brain to your legs become distorted. They don't land right, and it feels like static running through your limbs. An older friend of mine once said something that stuck with me. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel like I'm walking on my own legs anymore. If that hits close to home, your body may be asking quietly but urgently to be heard. Or struggling to keep your balance when standing or walking. Some mornings it feels like your body isn't moving in sync anymore. You rise from a chair only to pause for a few seconds just to steady yourself. You reach instinctively for the armrest, a table, or a wall, even after sitting for only a few minutes. Many people assume that's just aging bones, but the real issue often lies deeper in the motor nerves that control your legs. When you lack vitamin B12 and vitamin D, the signals between your brain and legs begin to slow down or get scrambled. It's like trying to run electricity through an old frayed wire. The current doesn't flow smoothly. Your legs don't get the message in time. So you wobble not because your bones are weak, but because your muscles didn't respond when they were supposed to. And sometimes, one misstep, one tiny wobble can lead to a fall that changes everything. Balance isn't just physical. It's how we hold on to our independence moment by moment. 5, bruises that take too long to fade or pale, tired-looking skin. Have you ever looked down and noticed a bruise, even though you can't remember bumping into anything? Or caught a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and saw skin that looked pale, tired, like your body was just worn out? That's not just aging. It might be your body quietly signaling a lack of vitamin C. Vitamin C is more than just a slice of orange at breakfast. It helps protect your blood vessels, supports your skin's ability to heal overnight, and plays a vital role in how your body absorbs iron, the mineral responsible for deep lasting energy. Without enough of it, you may notice your skin darkening or bruising more easily. You feel dizzy, foggy, as if your whole day passes in a blur you can't quite shake. Caring for your body after 50 doesn't always mean big changes. Sometimes it's as simple as a glass of lemon water, a plate full of greens, or a quiet moment of listening to the signals your body has been sending softly and patiently all along. 6. Brittle nails easy to crack or with strange ridges. Have you ever looked down at your hands and noticed your nails don't look quite like they used to? They chip more easily. They feel thin, dull maybe, with small vertical ridges like lines carved into old wood. Your nails might seem insignificant, but they tell a powerful story about what's happening inside your body. When you're low on B-complex vitamins, especially vitamin B7, also known as biotin, it shows up first in places like your nails and hair. Biotin may be quiet, but it plays a powerful role. It supports the health of your connective tissues, your skin, your hair, your nails, and even your muscles. I once spoke with an older woman who told me she'd stopped getting her nails done altogether. Every time they file them, she said it hurts. These hands, they don't feel like mine anymore. We didn't start with medication. We started with food, a few ripe avocados, a boiled egg in the morning, a small handful of sunflower seeds in the afternoon. Just a few weeks later, her hands looked warm again, with a soft, rosy glow. Not just on the outside, but in the way she carried herself, more confident, more whole. Don't overlook these quiet signals. Sometimes a tiny shift in nutrition, a gentle moment of listening to your body is the very first step toward reconnecting with the person you've always been. How many of these signs did you recognize in yourself? 1, 3, maybe even all 6? Please don't panic. Don't blame yourself. And most of all, don't give up. If this part of the message speaks to you, I invite you to leave a simple comment below. I need to restart my body. I read every word because I believe healing takes more than knowledge. It takes someone willing to listen. Now I want to take you one step deeper, not just through the familiar names like vitamin, but into the foundational materials that allow your legs to move smoothly in sync, a delicate dance between muscles and nerves. And when those materials run low, even just a little, each step you take may begin to feel shaky, uneven, out of control. So let's explore 5 essential nutrients, not in a scientific way, but in a human way. Not so you memorize their names, but so you understand why your body is losing its rhythm and how to gently help it find that rhythm again. If you've ever stood up from a chair and felt unsure of your footing, if a simple walk around your home feels like crossing a gravel path, or if you've noticed a quiet loss of the flexibility you once had, that means your body is ready right now to be fueled the right way. Just like a car that's been running for decades, your legs don't need to be replaced. They simply need the right fuel. And it doesn't require expensive superfoods. Just 5 essential nutrients given consistently and properly, and your legs will begin to come back to life. 1. Vitamin B12. Reconnect the nerves and restore control. Have you ever felt disconnected from your own legs, as if you had to look down to be sure your feet were still there, still pointed in the right direction? That's not just in your mind. It's often the sign that your nervous system is weakening, especially the protective sheath around your nerves. Vitamin B12 is the messenger between your brain and your feet. It helps your movement signals travel fast, clear, and uninterrupted. But as we age, our stomach's ability to absorb B12 drops sharply. If you're taking common medications for digestion or diabetes like metformin or antacids, a B12 deficiency becomes even more likely. I remember Evelyn, a gentle woman in her late 70s, Just 4 weeks of B12 from food and supplements, and she no longer needed to steady herself against the wall. Her movement signals had returned, and it changed everything: the way she walked, the light in her eyes, the strength in her voice. It even changed the way she saw her life. 2. Vitamin D, the silent strength beneath every step. Have you noticed? When we were younger, our legs felt steady. Each step came easily without thinking. But after 60, there are days when you stand up and something feels off, like your legs aren't quite holding you the way they used to. Vitamin D is one of the quiet forces keeping your legs grounded. It doesn't just help your bones absorb calcium, it also connects your bones and muscles, helping your movements feel coordinated, not clumsy. But as we age, our skin becomes thinner, we spend less time in the sun, and your body now produces only 30–50% of the vitamin D it once did. Without food or supplement support, this deficiency creeps in silently. There's no pain, no big warning. Just one day, you hesitate before stepping onto a curb. You rise from a chair more slowly. You sense your feet don't communicate with the ground like they used to. I remember one woman whispering to me, "It doesn't feel like my legs are carrying me anymore." That sentence stayed with me because it wasn't just about bones, it was about confidence, about agency, about feeling like you could still move yourself forward on your own terms. And the beautiful truth, that feeling can come back. All it takes is a beginning. Even the smallest effort is a thank you to your legs for carrying you through a lifetime. Magnesium, the conductor behind every step. If your body were a symphony, magnesium would be the conductor. It doesn't play an instrument, but it keeps every note in harmony. Each step you take is a smooth coordination of hundreds of tiny muscle contractions and releases. When magnesium is low, that rhythm gets thrown off. You cramp, you freeze. You fall not from weakness, but from disconnection. Magnesium is also lost daily if you take diuretics, heart medications, or live with chronic stress. But here's what's important. You don't need lots of magnesium. You just need enough delivered gently, consistently, at the right time to avoid long-term depletion. Imagine walking each morning without fear of cramps, without muscle tremors, just steady, quiet strength. All your body asks for is consistency. It will return the favor with balance. Omega-3, soothing inflammation and supporting soft tissues. There's something many people miss. Low-grade inflammation is one of the hidden reasons why your legs feel swollen, stiff, and less flexible. Omega-3 isn't just good for your heart. It's like a soft cushion for your joints, muscles, and the tissues that support your bones. One 2022 study found that older adults who added omega-3 from salmon or flaxseed for just 8 weeks showed significant improvement in joint flexibility and balance. An old friend of mine from Seattle used to avoid stairs altogether because of joint discomfort. But after making one simple change, omega-3, and a better breakfast, he's now back in his garden every morning. Your body doesn't need strong medications. It just needs the right kind of nourishment. 5. Vitamin K2, guiding calcium to the right place. Have you ever heard of K2? It's a quiet vitamin but plays the role of a traffic director for calcium. It helps calcium go where it's meant to your bones and stay out of where it shouldn't be: your arteries, your soft tissues. Without enough K2, even good habits like taking calcium and vitamin D can backfire, leading to things like artery calcification or kidney stones. K2 is found in natto, fermented soy chicken liver, and aged cheeses, but it's often missing from the diets of older adults in the US. Adding it back in the right way won't just strengthen your bones. It will help your legs feel lighter and more stable because the tissues around them aren't being stiffened by misplaced calcium. You see, weakened legs are not a life sentence. They are simply the result of long-term nutritional gaps. And the good news is, once you begin to restore these nutrients little by little, your body remembers how to move smoothly again. If any part of you feels like it's missing even one of the 5 essential nutrients we just explored, leave a quiet comment below. I'm starting again with my legs, because healing always begins with a choice. Now it's time to bring this knowledge into your everyday life. You'll see, taking care of your legs doesn't require a fancy gym or strict diets, just a few simple adjustments designed for the rhythms of aging, and you can begin restoring the harmony between your muscles and nerves. Naturally, no expensive routines, no overwhelming rules, just better choices for each meal each morning. I believe this with all my heart. Once you understand why your legs feel weaker, you'll feel more motivated to support them again. But to truly change anything, you must begin gently, naturally, and in a way you can stick with. No need to change your entire diet. No need to search for exotic ingredients. Just a few small steps done consistently, and your body will remember its strength. Vitamin B12, eggs, yogurt, and a clearer morning mind. One of the easiest ways to bring strength back to your legs is to start with your breakfast. Nothing fancy, just a boiled egg, a small cup of plain yogurt, and a slice of whole grain toast, and you've already given your body a full absorbable dose of vitamin B12. B12 doesn't just nourish your muscles. It helps your brain send clean, fast signals to your legs. When it's low, your body doesn't just feel weaker, your mind feels foggy too. I remember Evelyn, the 78-year-old woman I told you about earlier, coming back to me after a few weeks of these simple breakfasts. She smiled wide and said, "It feels like my old car finally got its tires pumped again. I don't wobble anymore when stepping down the porch." And the miracle, it didn't come from expensive medicine. It came from eating right regularly and believing her body could recover. If you've been skipping breakfast, try it. Not for anyone else, but for your legs and the steady steps you still have ahead in this beautiful life. Vitamin D, 15 minutes of morning sun and salmon, twice a week. And now picture this, a quiet morning. You sip a gentle tea, step out onto your porch, and let the early sun touch your skin for 15 minutes. That's it. 9 a.m., and your body begins to produce natural vitamin D. If it's cloudy or you live in low sunlight areas, add it through food, baked salmon, canned sardines, eggs, or vitamin D fortified milk. You don't need fish every day. Just 2-3 servings a week is enough to make a difference. And one small tip, vitamin D is fat soluble. So enjoy it with a little olive oil, avocado, or nuts to help your body absorb it better. Magnesium, gentle support in your evening plate. Not everything that heals needs to come in a pill. Magnesium is a beautiful example. It doesn't need a bottle. It doesn't need a fancy label. Just a handful of unsalted roasted pumpkin seeds at night, a ripe banana after dinner, or a warm bowl of sautéed spinach with garlic at the family table. I often call it a meal that soothes your nervous system. Magnesium is your body's quiet friend, helping muscles relax smoothly, calming restless energy, and playing a key role in guiding you into deep, uninterrupted sleep. If you've ever had a leg cramp in the middle of the night, or tossed and turned, unable to fall back asleep, your body may be whispering that it needs more than a pill. It needs a little gentleness. I remember Bernard, 71 years old, who told me he hadn't slept through the night in years. We tried something simple, bananas and seeds before bed. And after just 3 nights, he came back beaming. I didn't just sleep. I dreamed. Something I hadn't done in so long. Sometimes what your body needs most is not in the pharmacy, but in your own kitchen. Omega-3, softer joints, lighter steps, and better flexibility. Fatty fish like salmon, herring, and mackerel are rich in omega-3s, but I know not everyone enjoys fish. That's why ground flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts are beautiful alternatives. Just 1 spoonful a day can make a real difference. You can sprinkle ground flax on your morning yogurt mix, chia seeds into water, or a warm porridge. They're easy on the palate, mild, nourishing, and especially helpful for your heart and joints. If you stay consistent with omega-3s, you'll begin to feel it in your ankles, knees, even your toes. Movement becomes easier as if you've stepped back a few years in time. Vitamin K2, the quiet commander. It's a nutrient few people talk about, but it's incredibly important if you're already taking calcium or vitamin D. Vitamin K2 is like a wise guide. It tells calcium where to go into your bones and not into your arteries or kidneys. The best sources: hard cheeses like Gouda or Edam chicken, liver egg yolks, and natto if you're open to Japanese foods. You don't need a lot, just a few servings a week regularly, and your body will begin to build stronger bones in the right way. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I can't remember all of this, or I don't have time to prepare so many things each day. But please remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Just choose one small thing and begin from there. Today, what will you try? A boiled egg, a slice of salmon, a handful of pumpkin seeds. Share in the comments below. Let me know where you're starting, and together we can inspire others in this beautiful community to begin their journey too. And now, I want to tell you a beautiful story. It's about Michael, a man who once relied on a cane just to walk. Not because he was weak, but because his legs had quietly worn down over the years, as if the strength inside him had slowly begun to fade away inch by inch. But something shifted, not because of pills, not because of expensive equipment. It began with the right choices made consistently, gently, and with trust. And within less than a month, he placed his cane aside to walk again with his own two legs and with a newfound belief in the body he once thought was beyond repair. You'll want to hear this story because perhaps one day it could also become your own. Michael, 74, lives in a quiet town in Kansas. I still remember the look in his eyes the first time we met. Not fear, but the weariness of someone who had silently struggled for years. He couldn't walk without a cane. The two-story home he had lived in for most of his life had become unfamiliar. Even the idea of walking down the stairs made him pause. One day he told me he stepped down to the second stair and suddenly his legs stopped, as if they had disconnected from the rest of his body. His heart raced. His cane slipped. He nearly fell. I stood there holding the railing, he said, but it felt like I wasn't me anymore. That feeling, I believe many have experienced it. When the body begins to betray your trust, even the smallest movements can feel like silent battles. But here's the miracle. Even a body that feels worn out can come back to life if we truly begin to listen and choose to act. Michael once gave a half-hearted smile and said, "Maybe I'm just getting old." But as we looked deeper, I realized his strength hadn't vanished. It was waiting to be fueled again. Not by medication, but by simple, nourishing, consistent care from within. We didn't do anything fancy. We just did familiar things, but more intentionally. One boiled egg in the morning, a piece of grilled salmon every few days, a small handful of pumpkin seeds before bedtime, and perhaps most importantly, 15 quiet minutes each morning, sitting on his porch facing the sunrise, letting the first light of the day touch his skin like a sacred ritual. In the second week, I received a short message from him. I just stood up from my chair without using my hands. First time in 6 months. By week 3, the cane was in the corner of the room, only used when absolutely necessary. But what touched me most deeply was when he said, "I can feel my legs coming back to me." That wasn't magic. That wasn't a miracle drug. It was recovery born from a belief that he still had value, that he still had something left to give. Every small choice, a simple meal, the morning sunlight, a few quiet steps around the house became his way of whispering to his body, "I'm still here, and I choose to come back." Michael did it, and so can you, starting today. Up next, I'll share 7 golden principles, simple, steady, and powerful to help your legs not only recover, but become more stable and confident each day, whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond. These aren't promises of miracles. They're reminders of what's always been within you, but perhaps quietly forgotten. I remember once sitting beside an elderly patient and gently asking, if one day your son had to carry you down the stairs, how would you feel? She looked at me, eyes shimmering with tears. As long as I can walk by myself, I'm not a burden yet. That moment stayed with me because I understood leg strength isn't just about walking far. It's about being able to step outside without needing permission, to walk into your kitchen, to step into your garden, to open the door and greet the morning light without calling for help. That kind of strength is dignity. It's not just about movement. It's the freedom to own your life even after 70. And the best part? You don't need anything fancy to keep it. Just 7 principles. Simple, ordinary. But when done daily, they become the solid fence that keeps your legs strong for the rest of your life. It's like caring for a potted plant, a little water each morning, and within weeks, you'll begin to see something beautiful. Principle 1. Never skip breakfast, no matter how little you eat. Breakfast is not just a meal. It's the moment that wakes up your muscles, your nerves, your rhythm of life. 1 boiled egg, a spoonful of yogurt, or a slice of whole grain bread with a bit of tuna, that's enough. Vitamin B12 in these foods quietly recharges your body so your muscles move smoothly throughout the day. Don't wait until your hands tremble or your legs feel weak to start taking breakfast seriously. Principle 2. Get gentle sunlight before 9 a.m. Maybe you're not a fan of the sun, but if you can find a quiet corner bathed in the soft morning light, sit there for 10 minutes. Breathe gently. Let your mind relax. Your body will naturally create vitamin D. Just 10 minutes a day, enough to make your bones stronger, your muscles firmer, and your mood brighter. I've always called this the invisible medicine no doctor can prescribe. And do you know what most people who commit to this simple ritual eventually return with a noticeably brighter smile? Principle 3. Include eggs or fish in your daily meals. Nothing fancy needed. Sardines with turmeric, a no-oil omelet, steamed mackerel with boiled greens, all are excellent. They offer both B12 and D, the dynamic duo that repairs your nerves and muscles. A friend of mine in Oregon once said, after just 3 weeks of eating eggs and fish daily, I climbed all 10 stairs without my heart racing like before. Principle 4. Eat seeds and leafy greens in the afternoon. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, bok choy. They're rich in magnesium, a mineral that relaxes your muscles and reduces nighttime cramps. If you've ever felt that sudden stabbing pain in your calf while sleeping, that's your body begging for magnesium. And remember, protein is for the morning. Greens and seeds are best in the afternoon or evening. That's how your body absorbs nutrients in harmony with its natural rhythm. Principle 5. Don't wait for a fall to take action. I understand. Sometimes we think if I haven't fallen yet, I'm still fine. But weak legs don't begin with a fall. They begin the moment you need to hold the wall to stand up. The first time you hesitate before stepping off the curb. These are gentle reminders, not sirens, not warnings. But if you listen early, you can still take back control. Principle 6. Small movements done consistently. You don't need complicated workouts. Just stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times, or walk around your home for 5 minutes after each meal. Every time you do, you send a clear message to your body. I still need you strong. I still want to walk. And your body will respond. I've seen trembling legs grow steady again from just 5 minutes of persistence each day. Principle 7. Don't walk alone. Rebuilding your legs is a long journey, but you don't have to walk it alone. Share this video with someone you love, someone who may also need this gentle reminder just like you. And if you feel these words speak to your own life, leave a comment below that says, I choose to take action today. If you'd like more weekly messages like this filled with kindness and clarity, subscribe to Healthy Aging Essentials, I'll be here walking beside you. Up next, we'll explore something at the very heart of leg recovery. Two nutrients you rarely hear about yet. They work like silent commanders inside your body, leucine and choline. They don't make headlines like vitamin C or D, but without them, every other effort is like building a house without a foundation. Now is the moment to give your body the tools it truly needs to stand strong, not just for today, but for all the years ahead. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're rebuilding an old house. You've got the bricks, the cement, but without a skilled architect, everything could easily fall out of place. Leucine and choline are just like those silent architects in your body. Not as famous as vitamin C or D, but they are the ones orchestrating the repair of your muscles and nerves, the very foundation of leg strength. Leucine is an essential amino acid. I call it the muscle ignition switch. When you eat enough leucine, especially from eggs, lean meats, dairy, or whey protein, your body begins to rebuild weakened muscle fibers. Without leucine, even if you eat plenty of protein, it's like having construction materials, but no one to build. Choline, on the other hand, helps nerves send smooth, reliable signals. You'll find it in egg yolks, chicken liver, soybeans. If you've ever felt slower to react or that your legs don't respond like they used to, there's a good chance you're low on choline. I once worked with an elderly gentleman in Colorado. After just 2 weeks of starting his mornings with egg yolks and whey protein, he told me, "It feels like my legs are listening to me again." You see, healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it starts with something quiet, something as small as a forgotten nutrient. In the next part, I'll share with you a simple morning ritual. 8 small steps full of strength that can help reboot your mobility, strengthen your muscles, and set your body up for better recovery after 60. You don't have to change your entire day. Just start your morning the right way, and from there, each new day becomes a step forward for your legs and a fuller, more vibrant life. Have you ever felt like your body is aging faster than it should? You wake up and no longer want to get out of bed right away. Your first steps feel like walking through wet sand, heavy, slow, lifeless. I've heard this story many times, and here's what I want to tell you. Leg strength doesn't disappear overnight, and it can come back little by little, morning by morning. I call this the sunrise recovery routine. It's made up of just 8 gentle movements, no gym required, no expensive tools. All you need is a quiet corner in your own home. 1. Prepare the night before. The strength of your morning begins the night before. Before going to bed, prepare a protein-rich breakfast in advance. 1 boiled egg, 1 scoop of whey protein, and a glass of nut milk, and a handful of pre-washed leafy greens. Don't leave breakfast to chance. Morning fatigue often makes people skip this vital step, and that means skipping strength. And don't forget to place a glass of beetroot juice in the fridge. That deep red drink might just be the quiet companion you didn't know your legs needed. 2. Upon waking, drink a small glass of beet juice or eat cooked beets if you prefer. Beets are rich in natural nitrates that help dilate your blood vessels and improve circulation to your brain and lower limbs. This is especially important as we age, when morning blood flow tends to slow down. Many older adults I've worked with have shared this. After just a few days of drinking beet juice, they felt clearer in the head and lighter in the legs. If you're not fond of beet juice, its taste is earthy and bold. You can simply boil the beet, slice it thinly, and enjoy it with breakfast. The benefits are still remarkable. Whether it's juice or slices, just be consistent. About 120 milliliters of juice or half a small boiled beet every morning, and you're giving your legs a stronger start to the day. 3. Begin your day with calm rhythm and clear intention. Don't leap out of bed like you're chasing an alarm bell. Your body isn't a machine that needs a fast reboot. It's more like a melody that begins with a soft note. Sit up slowly, take a deep breath, place your hands on your legs, gently stroke from your thighs down to your ankles. It's your way of quietly waking up your nervous system and muscles after a long night of stillness. Feel it. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still alive with legs ready to carry you into the new day. Just a few seconds of presence, but they can set the tone and endurance for everything that follows. Or eat breakfast the right way, not just for hunger, but to revive your legs. Breakfast after 60 doesn't need to be complicated, but it does need to be complete and intentional. This isn't about fullness, it's about restoration. One boiled egg gives you vitamin B12 and choline, both vital for muscle and nerve strength. One scoop of whey protein in warm nut milk helps rebuild your muscle fibers, especially important if you don't move much during the day. A handful of lightly cooked spinach or greens adds magnesium and vitamin K nutrients that keep your joints flexible and your muscles resilient. Eat it in a quiet corner. No television, no phone. Just you, your meal, and a mind that's listening to your body. When you eat slowly and chew with care, you're not just aiding digestion, you're telling your body, I'm here to care for you on purpose. If you'd like a sample morning meal plan designed for older adults, leave your email in the comments. I'll send it directly to you. One balanced breakfast a day can be the very first step towards stronger, steadier legs. 5. Gentle movement. Walk indoors or in the yard for 10-15 minutes. This step is often overlooked, but it's actually the ignition switch for your entire neuromuscular system. I often say this, if your legs still move, let them move. Because every step you take sends a signal from your brain down to your muscles. The more you lie still, the more your body assumes it's no longer needed. If possible, walk barefoot on a soft rug or cool ground. That simple touch connects you back to life, to something raw, real, and young in you that never truly left. 6. Simple strength. Sit down and stand up with awareness. No gym needed, no weights, no personal trainer, just a sturdy chair and your own legs. Sit down, then rise slowly. Don't use your hands. Feel each motion, how your thighs, back, and core all join in the effort. Repeat 5 times. Rest 1 minute. Then repeat another 5 times if you can. Many of the older adults I've worked with call this their quiet favorite morning practice. Why? Because it's simple, it's manageable, and after each round they feel something powerful return. I still have control over my legs. And those legs, when given the gift of these tiny movements every day, will be far less likely to give up on you. 7. Write it down, a quiet moment with your body after your morning movement. Take a small notebook and jot down a few thoughts. How did I feel today? Did my left calf shake less than yesterday? Did I drink my beet juice yet? These notes keep you connected to your progress. They remind you that change is happening, even if it's slow, even if it's quiet. Without reflection, it's easy to fall into the fog of nothing is getting better. But your body knows, and so will you once you track the signs. 8. Repeat every morning no matter what. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent. Because as we age, consistency becomes the strongest medicine. An 80-year-old woman once told me, I may not be stronger than I was in my 30s, but I'm more awake, more joyful, simply because I never gave up my mornings. If you believe someone you love could benefit from these gentle steps, please share this video with them. Sometimes one mindful morning can change the course of someone's future. And if you've been walking this path with us, don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Aging Essentials. We're right here walking beside you. Coming up next, I'd like to invite you to listen to 3 very special stories from Margaret, James, and Helen. They were once caught in the stillness of spirit in quiet mornings filled with doubt, where hope faded little by little, where belief in themselves dimmed. But with a few small changes each day, they didn't just regain flexibility, they reclaimed their sense of purpose and the quiet fire of hope. These aren't stories to momentarily inspire you. They're reminders. Every morning holds a blank page if you choose to write it with your own hands. Let me close today's journey with the story of Margaret, 84 years old, and once unable to step out of bed in the morning, not because her legs were too weak, but because she believed she couldn't change anymore. One day her granddaughter brought her a short clip about the power of breakfast and slow mindful movement. Margaret began with just one small glass of milk, a few gentle steps in the yard, and a single line of gratitude each morning. 3 months later, she walked herself to the grocery store without a walker. James, 76 years old, had been living alone since his wife passed away. For a long time, he thought, what's the point anymore? But one quiet morning, he started writing a few notes after his morning routine. And slowly, he began to realize something he had overlooked. Life was still here. It hadn't gone anywhere. He just hadn't been able to see it. His simple morning walks and sit-to-stand exercises became a ritual, not just for his body, but for reconnecting with himself. Helen, 68 years old, is living proof of what belief can do. She used to think she wasn't strong enough to change, but every morning she began her day with a glass of beet juice and a quiet promise. Today I'll keep moving. Her body responded in kind. Less pain, less shaking, and a heart full of quiet gratitude. You see, none of them found a magic pill. None of them chased perfection. They just started again with patience and a little self-kindness. And you can do the same. Starting tomorrow morning, not perfectly, but honestly. Because some of the biggest transformations in life begin with the smallest steps. A deeper breath, a nourishing breakfast, a bit of early morning sunlight, a single attempt to stand up even if your knees still tremble. Age is not a sentence, and you are not powerless, because in every cell, every muscle, every slow step, your body is still listening, waiting for the signal to begin healing. Don't underestimate the power of simple things. You don't need to change the whole world, just take care of the world within you. And if you've stayed with me until now, I want to offer you a quiet, heartfelt thank you. Because you gave time to yourself. You chose to listen, and I truly believe that choice will lead you to steadier, lighter days. Subscribe to Healthy Aging Essentials, where I'll be right here beside you through every season of living well and meaningfully. I wish you a peaceful evening with a gentle heart and a deeply restful sleep. See you in the next video, and remember, every single day is a chance to begin again. Slowly, but never stop.